Welcome one and all to another fantastic episode of Concentrated Chaos with your host. Hey, it's me, it's Rusty. And for those of you that know me, well, I'm Rusty. And for those of you that don't, well, I'm Rusty. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a little bit. It's been a while. I'm recording this early October 2025, and I think my last episode I recorded had to have been before Christmas of last year. So it's been about 10 months since I've recorded one. And frankly, I've missed you guys. This is a great thing. It's kind of like, it's just talking to myself, but it's kind of a diary also. Kind of you can just talk through things and get it out. And it's been a year. It's been very interesting. Now, obviously, one of the big changes in the last 10 months is we're in a new studio. My last studio, which was really cool. Man, I loved that place. That was in my old church. And we decided to leave that last year at Christmas. And so I recorded the last of the playbook there and packed up everything. And now we are in a little corner in my basement. You might hear some cars. We live right on a major road. Literally, I'm sitting 15 feet from a major road. And so you might hear some cars. Obviously, my family lives here, so you might hear some steps up in the kitchen above. But you know what? It is what it is. This is me. It's the name of the podcast, right? Concentrated Chaos. That's my life. So, so we're in a new studio. This is pretty cool. I got this TV monitor so I can show some things and pull up articles and pictures and all that stuff. So that'll be a cool addition that I'll figure out how to use over time. Yeah. So what's new with you guys? Yeah, it's been a long year so far. This has been a difficult year. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Grateful we're healthy. My whole family, we're healthy and we're happy we're together. And so really I don't want to complain any further than that, because I wouldn't trade money or time or anything like that to give up what I have with my family. So difficult as it may have been so far this year, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for what we have. It's been hard, but my family loves me and I love them, and we're happy, we're healthy, and we're together. And so I really can't see anything more than that. Everything else on top would be just icing on the cake. I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. So, all things considered, we are very blessed, and I'm very happy right now. And that doesn't change the fact that it's been a difficult year. So, like we just talked about, moving podcast studios, that came with also moving churches. That church that we were at, that was our church home for over 10 years. My daughter was not even 6 months, I think, when we, maybe just over 6 months old when we started going to that church. And she's 11 now. So, we've been going there a long time, a lot of life lived there, a lot of family that we built, a lot of friendships that won't ever be lost, that we made some lifetime friends there and learned a lot and served a lot. And, maybe a story for another day. I won't get too far into it, but what I will say is the church was one way, and then something happened and the church became something else. So we left in December, and then we took the next month basically off to just kind of figure out and pray, figure out where we were supposed to be. And I don't know if you can tell, church is a very, very important part of our lives, our faith in Jesus and our relationship with Him. That is something that we've built our lives around. And we always say the three main things in our lives are God first, and then our family, and then our businesses. And we really do adhere to that. And so, leaving a church that we were at for 10 years was difficult. That was a big change for all of us. So in January, we did a 21-day fast, a Daniel fast. So that's where you fast. It's not a fast where it's like a water fast where you don't eat anything, but we did fast from sugar, from sweets, from the Daniel fast is animal products. So, no meat, no eggs, cheese, any of that kind of stuff. Basically vegan. We went vegan with no sugar for 21 days. just as something to clarify our minds so that we could hear from God where we wanted to go as far as church and where He had it for us. And come February, end of February, we ended up at a church here in Aurora. Loved that church. It was wonderful. And, immediately got into the band there and started playing, which was great because it's a very easy church to go to. And we just spent a decade of our lives going to a very not hard church. It was hard. It was a hard church to go to, not because it was a bad church. It just was. We didn't have a lot, and our people that were there didn't have a lot, and it was difficult. It was difficult to keep the doors open, and so it was really nice to go to a church that had some finances and was available for us to volunteer and jump in right away. That was really great. Genuinely, nothing bad to say about that church at all. And then in, I want to say April, we got hooked up with a mutual friend, connected me with a pastor who had moved here from Dallas to plant a church in Aurora, not to join the church, but just to help him with some real estate stuff. And so I got to know him, and we went to one interest meeting just because I wanted to meet him. I'd only talked to him on the phone. And that was in April, I want to say, maybe May. And we spent the last May, June, July, August, the last 5 or 6 months praying through that, because every time we go to one of their events, we'd be like, yep, we need to move and go to this church. And then we would go to our other church, and where it was easy, and I was playing in the band already, and it was like, oh no, this is our church, this is where we should be. And it was a long process, very long process, to wait on God to show us where we wanted to go. And He did. Suffice it to say, church is a big deal for us, and that's been a big stressor over the last year and a half. And now we're very happy. We go to the church that was being planted here in Aurora from the family from Dallas, the Bruno family, Vinny and Amanda and their children. Wonderful, wonderful family. And it's living room church. It's excellent. We're so happy to be there, and it's where God has called us to be. So that's what we're doing. We just started this week. This was our first week there officially, and it was really fantastic. God's moving in that church. I don't know where it's going, but I've never felt God move in a place more than at living room. So okay, so we talked about church. We've had a lot of stuff. Had quite a few health things in the family. Both my dad and Amy's dad have been in the hospital in the last year for some pretty serious stuff, and that's always stressful. So dealing with that and homeschooling the kids and the businesses have been subsisting us, but it's been a tough year. I don't want to sugarcoat that. It's been a very tough year in real estate specifically for me, and it's been tough this year because I'm coming off of last year as my best year. And so, for it to go from the high to, now this is borderline one of my, it's probably going to end up being middle of the road by the time the fourth quarter ends. But this hasn't been a great year. And I've been working where I have to. Most agents that you talk to, they're going to be working. Well, I work in Southeast Aurora. That's just where I work, and I refer out anything else. Or, I just work in Denver Metro, and I refer out to Fort Collins or Colorado Springs, or, I do the Front Range, but I only go an hour from my house. That has not been my option this year. Sure, if you've been following my social media, and you see me posting, and you're like, where in the hell is Fort Garland? Where in the hell is Weston? Where is Naturita? Craig? Craig's like a 6-hour drive. Why is he listing something in Craig? And what it is those are the people who are calling me right now. And they've found me online somehow. And, I'm listing the houses that I can. And they're, fortunately, they're business, and I'm very thankful for that. And, if I can be perfectly honest and open, unfortunately, they're $120,000, $150,000, $180,000 houses. And in this market, in this industry, that's not going to cut it. It's a lot of work for not that much money. And so it's been very difficult. And I've been working hard. Obviously, you could always do more. I think that's, even if you worked every second of every day, you could arguably, convince yourself that you could have used your time more effectively and gotten more done, even though you worked every second. So I try not to go down that road, but there's always more you could do. And so it's been hard, and this past year, I've really been pushing, with the playbook. Obviously, if you've listened to any of those, you're going to hear me talk about, the Saturday to Sold program. And I kind of I wanted to talk about that a little bit here today. And just wanted to try out my TV. So I made a little slideshow. So let's mess around with the slideshow and see what we can do. So obviously, Concentrated Chaos with Rusty Stevenson. That's me. In case you didn't know. What is it? How do I do this? Son of a bitch. Holy crap. There we go. Look at that handsome guy. Look at that, all that distinguished gray. This was me. This was me on January 1st. I was, happy and ready for a new year and looking good with my mohawk as a 38-year-old man. Big beard. And, I had some, there's me. I'm even happier there. Look at that. I'm so happy to be fat and 38 with a mohawk. But granted, this is my choice. I actually really enjoy how I look. Oh, look at me. It's so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and the doctor. I don't know what the hell's. I don't know why I put all these in. I made this like a month ago. I have no fucking idea why I put these in here. But there you go. Look, there's all my there's all my headshots with dumb poses. I've never showed those before. But there you go. I'll probably cut that out. So over the last year, I've really been pushing this 3-day Saturday to Sold selling system, right? You've heard me talk about it. It's the whole playbook, right? And I've been doing this for about 7 years, this specific system for about 7 years. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that it is the best way to get sellers the best results. I don't think there's a better way to sell houses than this system. But I'm a little inside baseball for those who don't know. This is the second iteration of this branding, I will say. The system hasn't changed. The system will never change because the system, it does work. And I have a lot of proof showing that. But the whole goal of the 3-day Saturday to Sold selling system is for it to be what we call an audacious promise. It's something that you go, what? That's you promise that? Well, I mean that's crazy, but tell me more. It's something to engage potential leads and make them want to know more. And I called it something else before. Now it's the 3-day Saturday to Sold selling system. And what I've come to find out is that 99 times out of 100, this is the reaction that I get to this system. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. And what I think it is I think people, and please, if I'm on the wrong track and you have other opinions of this, let me know. But I think what people see is this audacious promise. Saturday to Sold, 3 days. And I think people go, yeah, right. That's bullshit. I'm not even going to call him. Because it's been my experience. Since I've started the 3-day Saturday to Sold selling system, I have not gotten a single solitary client because of the system. Now, I've closed deals since I launched it, but it has not brought me in a single client. And after over a year of it, I'm convinced that it's not the right way to do it. The system doesn't matter what we call the system. The system could be whatever. I mean, we call it something stupid or gross or whatever. The system itself still works, and I'm still going to do it for forever because this system works. But the whole goal of branding, in case you're unaware, this is a business. This is how I feed my family. The whole goal of branding is to bring in new clients, right? To build a brand, make people think of you so that you can get new clients and grow your business. Well, that hasn't been happening. As of today, I'm officially scrapping the Saturday to Sold selling system. Not happening anymore. We're going to call it something else. Now, if you've been following me long enough, I think you might remember this, but we're going to call it something else. So what is this? Oh, I had a bright idea. Sometimes I have those. With scrapping it, what is it now that would make people reach out? I'm just shooting in the dark because I thought the Saturday to Sold would make people reach out, but that's not been the case. So my great idea is let's think about what's happening in the market right now. Things are happening in the market. Way more houses for sale. Okay, pricing hasn't really went down. It's pretty leveled, but lots and lots and lots more houses for sale, and they're sitting for longer. The average days on market's getting close to 60 days as an average. Okay, now that's up from at its peak 4, 3, 2 days. There was a few months where it was under a day that the average sales price was, or that the average days on market was. That's obviously leveled off with how the market is now. Now, I used to have a system it was a 28-day guarantee, right? And I launched that when the average days on market was 4 days. Not my best move. Okay? Not my best move. However, that's the system that then morphed into the Saturday to Sold, and it's still the best way to sell houses. I'm going to keep saying that because it's true. So, my bright idea, how about we relaunch what we were talking about? So, starting today, we are officially relaunching the 28-day guarantee and the 28-day guaranteed selling system. Now, what this is, you can still go back and watch the whole playbook and get the whole system, but the 28-day guarantee is what we're going to be using going forward. And what that is your home sold at full market value in 28 days or less. And if I don't get that done for you, I will pay you up to $20,000. Okay? How that works, we'll talk about later. We'll talk about it in another podcast because this is getting a little long in the tooth anyways. But at its core, I really think this is going to be now, finally. I probably should have swapped the branding. But either way, the average home right now is sitting for 60 days. I guarantee in 28 days or less that I will get you full market value for the house. And if not, then I'll pay you up to $20,000. And I think this is the time that this is hopefully going to really bring in some new clients and get some people interested. And I'm really excited about this program. Now, I say that because this is I'm really excited about this branding. It's the same program. I'm not changing what I do. I still am going to be the same realtor doing the same things, which work 100% of the time. And that's just what we're going to do. We're going to call it something different, though. So this is me launching the 28-day guarantee and the 28-day guaranteed selling system. So if you see anything from the past, that's the 3-day Saturday to Sold. Same thing. It's all the same thing under the hood. So here we go. 28-day guaranteed selling system. So if you or anybody you know are thinking about selling your house, I have my 28-day guarantee right out there for everyone to see, and I will get it done and get you full market value, or I will pay you up to $20,000. So give me a call or shoot me a text if you have any questions about that, and let's talk about it. And who knows, I may not be the right agent for you, but I will guarantee you one thing: I will get your home sold in 28 days or less. And even if you have a conversation with me, you're going to leave with more information than you had before. So that's how we're going to do it. And here we go. So thank you all so much for hanging in there. It's been a long time. Been about, like I said, 10 months. And I got a lot more to say. A lot of things on my mind. So we'll make these more regular as the end of the year of 2025 closes up. And we'll go into 2026 hitting the ground running. So thank you all. The phone number is 303-335-9705. And that is a direct line right to my face. You can email me at rusty@rustystevenson.com. And you can find me on all the social medias at The Realtor Rusty. Any feedback or comments, I would greatly appreciate. I like talking to people, so if you got anything to say, let's talk about it. So, again, thank you very much. I am so grateful for everyone who listens, and thank you for supporting me in any way, shape, or form. I am truly grateful, and I hope to continue to live up to whatever expectation you have of me. And exceed that. So that's my goal. And yeah, so thank you very much. And Mr. Andy Barkowski, as per usual, brought us in. He's going to take us out. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we will see you next time on Concentrated Chaos. All right. Have a good one. See you later.